What if I told you you don't need a garden to be able to grow vegetables? You could even grow them on your deck or in your driveway.
Without needing raised beds, without digging, and without spending a fortune, this is a cheap method I'm using right now to keep my seedlings alive before the greenhouse is ready, and honestly, I might keep using it after it is.
So here we are inside the greenhouse. As you can see, it's not finished yet, but I have seedlings that need help now. Right now, I don't have any garden beds to plant in. I don't have my ventilation system hooked up. So I'm going to take a little action in my cheap method here with GardenSoxx to transplant my seedlings, to give them more room and put them in a place where they can thrive. So GardenSoxx is kind of exactly what it seems. It's like a big sock, a mesh tube that you can cut to size and fill it with dirt and put your plants in it to grow. Because of the unique design with the mesh, you can get good drainage with this and you can get a lot of aeration. It actually allows you to do a higher compost ratio. So right here I've got potting soil mixed with about 15% compost. And so the first thing you'll do after cutting your length is to tie a knot in the bottom or save a little material and put on a little zip tie on the end. And then you can use this tube to hold your sock as you're filling it. And caution, these do hold a lot of dirt.
Garden beds, especially raised ones, are expensive. For under $100, you can get an entire 4x4 GardenSoxx kit and you're set to go.
And when it's full, you can tie off the other end. Okay. This GardenSoxx is about 15 inches, so I'm going to cut 3 holes to put in my leafy greens. And you can look up on their website to see appropriate spacing. Now I need to transplant some of these overcrowded seedlings very carefully. This one is arugula. And that's pretty much how simple it is. Got another sock ready to go right here. Let me do some spinach. And now there's a little bit more room in the seedling container, so I can leave these alone for now. There's also the option to buy the kits with an irrigation line. I'm skipping the step for now because our water is not hooked up yet, so I'm not sure where the final placement's going to go. But it's definitely an option. If you've got a dedicated spot for it, why not? That way it makes it really easy to water. And did I mention that they're portable? That way I can move them if I really need to. Because we don't have our ventilation in yet, I'm afraid our greenhouse is going to get too hot, so I'm going to need a place for these to go outside in the shade. I had some seedlings outside in my raised garden bed that were not doing well. And thanks to GardenSoxx, I was able to move them inside, and now they have new signs of life, which is awesome because I actually thought that they were goners. So if you've been wanting to grow vegetables this year, use the cheat code I'm using this time, which is GardenSoxx. So hopefully in a few weeks we'll have garden beds ready, but if not, I have my backup plan, which is GardenSoxx. I've got my seedlings transplanted in there, and if it gets too hot inside the dome, I can move them outside. So yeah, it's kind of like container gardening, but with better aeration and drainage. And don't worry, I'll hook you up in the video description with a link where you can buy your own set of GardenSoxx. So have you ever used an alternative to a container garden for your gardening needs? Let me know in the comments. What types of systems have you used, and would you try something like GardenSoxx? But when our greenhouse gets finished, I'll probably do a little bit of transplanting, moving some seedlings into garden beds and keeping some in the socks because I like to experiment and see what works. But here's to happy and healthy gardening. We'll see you in the next video.